It's summertime.
It's hotter than balls.
I'm having a few beers. We just grilled, spend some time outside.
I don't know. I can't start complaining about 82 because it's going to get a lot fucking harder. It's gonna,
About what?
it being 82. I can't complain about 82. I mean, realistically, once it crosses 80, I'm like, okay, I'm paying attention to the weather.
Yeah,
When it hits
wasn't
85, I'm upset.
Wasn't there a week where like went into the 90s last summer?
No, last summer really wasn't that bad. It was the
okay.
2 summers ago when we first had our baby. That one, there was like 9 or 10 or 11 days over 90 degrees. And
Also, I mean, the last few seasons, it's like been getting hotter later,
yeah,
like
Yeah.
into September.
they say July is going to be a bear. So, you know, wife will just be in the
What's a bear?
final. What's a bear?
Yeah.
Well, there's several different,
Well, not the giant animal that
no.
will attack you, and not the giant gay man that
No.
will attack you with
No.
his penis. I mean,
Attack.
what is this context of being a bear?
And not bear like bare chested.
Oh no, that was totally wrong. Bears are the ones who hide their femininity, right?
No.
Oh, they
no,
express
well,
it.
No. They don't hide their.
Oh no, that's a beard. I'm getting them all mixed
Beard.
up.
Yes.
I'm
You're
not-
you're thinking of a woman that
I'm not versed in homosexual nomenclature. I'm sorry.
That sentence alone is fucking way out there. Homosexual nomenclature. That's a no, but yes, bears are the bearded gentlemen.
Yeah.
That tend to prefer. Well, I actually learned some of this week from
Isn't
a friend.
it that they wear women as a beard?
No.
to
A
pretend not to be
beard.
gay?
That's a guy who's uncomfortable with his homosexuality. Then he would have a woman
Yeah.
to make it appear that he's heterosexual.
Right.
She would be the beard.
Yeah.
A bear is a homosexual gentleman of generally larger stature, bearded, dresses overly masculine because he is,
Yeah.
and they oftentimes prefer cubs or twinks, as my friend said. No, but he described it as bears sometimes do like other bears,
Yeah.
but bears oftentimes like cubs, which are the younger, smaller, gay fellows.
Sure.
Younger being the predominant. So you'd have bear with the beard and the, macho, and then the cub would be
They
not so much.
they complement each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Sure.
How the fuck did we start
don't
talking
know.
about this?
I have no idea.
Hi, and welcome to the Unreasonably Angry Podcast. My name is Eric.
And I'm Gary. This is episode 9. Welcome. Welcome, fuckers. Stay angry. Whatever I'm supposed to say, I don't remember.
What am I supposed to say? Read your script, Gary.
Oh, we don't. We're so far from having this.
Let me write down.
So what's got you riled up? What's going on this week?
I like how you're just dodging saying, Eric, what's on your tits?
I don't want to. This is gonna be a thing.
Oh, it's already a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I've already been texted and
Things that you love to say that I'll begrudgingly never want to.
yeah. But hey, when I receive a text and the first thing this person says to me for the day is, "You know what's really on my tits?" I'm like, "Oh God." No, actually, I thought you were gonna lead in a little bit with your experience this week at the Father John Misty concert.
Yeah, so I went and saw Father John Misty at the Paramount in Seattle. It was a great show. I loved it. He really didn't pull any. Wait, no, he pulled all the stops. Is that how that goes?
You could have gone. He didn't pull any punches, but he pulled out all the stops.
He didn't pull any punches, but he pulled out all the stops.
There you go.
You know how that started. You pull out the stops on an organ to make different sounds, and pulling out all of the stops makes all of the sounds go at once.
I did
so
not
it
know
like
that.
makes the organ the fullest sound.
I did not know that.
Yep, that's pulling out the stops. Anyway.
Education here on the Reasonably Angry podcast. You guys
Okay.
thought we were just bitching about stuff.
So no, really,
Learned a lesson.
it was a great show. He had
Yeah.
a string section, a giant projector screen. It was
Did he
fucking
do
awesome.
his pelvic-y dance? Where
Oh,
he, like,
plenty.
humps the audience.
Plenty of those, like the metrosexual, like
His fucking Aldous Snow impression.
who's
Aldous
that?
Snow from Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Remember Russell Brand's character?
Oh yes,
Inside
absolutely.
you,
Yeah.
inside you. Yeah.
It was great. Someone requested him to play Hotel California for whatever fucking reason,
Okay.
and everyone was like immediately shitting on it for like
Boo.
being like a huge radio like.
Sure.
And he was like, "You irony poison socialist, I please."
Jesus.
Which is totally right. Like everyone does everything ironically, and if it's mainstream, then they hate it immediately. Just
Dude, I don't
because.
care how many times I've heard. I still enjoy Hotel California.
Yeah, it's great.
Though I will say the Gypsy King version is the one that always like.
Oh yeah.
No matter what, I can always just listen to it. Be like, oh,
I can't not move when that comes on. Like you have to like do that little shake back and forth. It's the maracas. Like you can't resist. Anyway,
So the show,
that's beside the point.
most of our topics usually.
Yeah. Okay. So I was seated in the mezzanine, which was assigned seating like a concert. Like below the lower floor is GA, like everyone was just everywhere. But when you have a seated, like when you have a assigned seat, it's more of like a formal concert experience.
Yeah, because if you don't care, I mean, if you're okay being in the pit or the GA section, general audience,
Yeah.
or general admission, you're okay with bumping into other people. You know, you're not gonna have much space
Yeah.
to yourself. You may not have the best view, but you're right there. You're like in the concert,
Right.
But if you're paying for assigned seating, you want to be able to sit and enjoy and not feel distracted.
And in my and everyone up there chose to do that.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the acoustics sound
Are better
up there anyway.
And mezzanine, for people that don't go to a lot of theater shows,
That's the balcony.
Okay.
It's the upper floor.
the top one.
If you took stairs, you're at a mezzanine.
Okay, there you go.
Well, generally, you might be in a box
We don't have to
seat
get too
or-
deep.
Okay. Anyway, so I ran into some things that really got on my
They
chest.
they they
Well,
nod
first
on
of
your
all,
nibbles.
I got there like an hour early.
Okay.
I was on an aisle seat. I was like ready to go. I was chilling out on Reddit on my phone,
Sure.
just hanging. I went alone, and in the front of me, this couple sits down right in front of me.
Sure.
Like there's not a lot of foot space, so they're like 2 feet in front of me,
Gotcha.
and it's immediately like get a room kind of shit. Like
Oh.
like they're not horrible, but they're just like you can tell it's the type of couple that's like.
Are they young?
Yeah, they're like my age.
Okay.
And you can tell it's the
New
type of
relationship?
couple that's like either a new relationship
Okay.
or just the type of relationship where they're like so excited that they finally found someone else that was willing to date them.
Are you
that-
saying they're unattractive?
Yeah.
They're ugly.
I didn't want to like
fucking uggos.
I didn't want to like outright say it, but yeah, I mean, you know, like how they're a little bit more cuddly and lovey-dovey than your average.
Got it. So they haven't had a lot of PDA, so they haven't gotten sick of PDA.
Right.
Got it. You just went the diplomatic route.
Yeah. As I normally tend to go.
That's why I'm here.
Anyway,
Balance that shit right out.
you're to keep me
So
from
there's a couple
being
of
politically correct.
ugly people in front of you
Yeah.
playing tonsil hockey.
Yes. And that, got on my nerves a bit. But, whatever. And
I mean, yeah, if it's not okay, if it's an occasional
yeah,
real
it's not
kiss,
like
okay.
making out the entire show.
But
It's
what
just
my
like,
point is though is I don't care if it's a smooch, holding hands, snuggling, whatever. But was it like long passionate kisses?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't like, yeah. Yeah.
So you weren't being the lady in the yogurt shop. I'm assuming you've seen that. Or was it a poke bowl place?
What?
Did you see the video of the lady in California?
No.
So there's this lady in California, and these people videotaped it. You can watch the YouTube later. And there's this couple, and they decide to start videotaping what's happening. So apparently they were in line, and I guess kissed a couple times, nothing like insane.
Okay.
This woman turns around, this large woman, and just starts screaming at them.
Okay.
You guys are fucking in the restaurant. I don't want to see you guys having sex. She's a prostitute. She's a hooker. She's a whore. Like going ape shit, dude. Like
was she just like super conservative or
so this is where it gets really interesting. Eventually it gets bad enough that like people are like, we're gonna call the cops. Like she's screaming at these people.
Jesus.
So people walk in and then they're like, hey man, can you chill out? And so she starts screaming at them and then eventually storms out.
Wow.
A little research is done to who this person is. Turns out she's a fucking cam girl. She does like low budge porn.
What?
It's on the internet. So these people found her on the internet. Turns out that she's not overly conservative, that she actually does online nudity, but for some reason had like a fucking meltdown and started screaming at people in public for kissing.
So is she on a like campaign where she's like advocating that people only do like displays of affection on a cam online?
I don't know, but so you weren't being her. You weren't being her.
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't gonna like say something to them or like it takes a lot for me to. Well, okay, let me get to that. That's the next step. Okay. Another girl sits next to me who's also alone, which is, I mean, adds a little bit of awkwardness, but it wasn't bad.
Was she good looking?
No, that's why it wasn't that awkward because. There was that layer.
You're like, it wasn't awkward because I wasn't compelled to ask her out.
Yeah.
So if she had been good looking, it would have been a fucking shit show.
Well, I mean, yeah. Anyway, well, if she was good looking, I would have.
Like,
well,
hey,
anyway,
you're here alone. She's like, yeah, and you're I'm alone too.
How you doing?
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so she's on her phone, so that adds another. That's the second thing. She's like
she's
pulling out her
directly
phone
next to you
in an assigned seating like concert
is her phone
section.
Is she with her phone while you're on your phone or once the show starts?
No, this is once the show has started, she's pulling out her phone and taking a picture. Granted, she didn't like do it the whole time. She only took a few pictures, and so did I. I took like one or two.
Sure.
And that's what I try to do when I go to concerts. I'll
Snap
take
a couple
like one
in
or
the gang
two
and then enjoy the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so that wasn't that bad, but she didn't. What got to me was she didn't like try to hide it. Like she didn't.
Got it.
Noticeably like try to conceal
was she dumb
it
enough
when
to
it
keep
was
the
really
flash
bright.
on?
No, but anyway.
Your flash ain't working from there.
Yeah, but when we're like when someone I don't mind if you're taking it out, but when you don't try to hide it, when you're not oh shut up.
I don't mind when you're taking it out. So, but you're right in front of you. People are making out. The girl next to you is on her phone,
and then people behind me are talking, and and here's I don't know what you know about Father John Misty, but he does these like really like ridiculous dance moves, and like he doesn't actively try to be funny. Like he's not like a goofy person, but like people will. Well, yeah, but they'll laugh at his dance moves. But these girls like they didn't hold anything back. Like they were like guffawing at like the littlest things, and I was just like, really, can I enjoy the music? I mean, at one point what I wanted, you know, those things where you always want to say something and you like have it in your head, like this like is
on
what
the
I was
drive
telling
home
them.
You're like, I should have done this.
This is what I would, or in the shower, like you're trying to win an argument by yourself. This is what I would have said to them. I would have said, his voice is the only one I really want to hear tonight.
Jesus. Or you could pull this old dick move. This is the one I got when I was younger. Hey, Gary, who sings this song? Father John Misty? Yeah, let's keep it that way.
Yeah.
Shit. You fucking asshole.
I've had that directed towards me. That does not feel good. I don't like
fuck off.
No, it's good. It's quippy. I get it. But
so this is the thing. Out of the three things that you described right there.
Well, no, wait. So sorry. I gotta finish the thought.
He wasn't done.
I gotta finish the thought.
Okay.
Well, oh God, I forgot the thought now. Shit. No,
I gotta finish the thought.
You said something, and I said I'll get back to that in a second. What was it?
Was it them kissing, or is it her on her phone?
No, people talking, and
let me touch on what I was gonna say.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe you'll remember.
Okay.
So out of the three things, the kissing in public, as long as it's not over the top and I can see your tongues, then I don't really care. But if I see your tongue, God. Really?
Well, the funny thing is that I was looking at the show between their two heads.
Okay.
So when like they would kiss or something, that would like be the show for me now. Is looking at them kissing.
I'm writing a novel.
You know, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not the tallest person, so I have to like make do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, you could just bring a phone book, like sit on that.
you're having high chairs.
Oh my god. So yeah, so I can stand that. I can stand the girl on her phone, though I will say it's become increasingly annoying for me when you go to a concert and you're watching the fucking concert through the person recording them the whole fucking time.
Yeah, it's
You want to
awful.
take a couple pictures, fine, but don't be a fucking idiot. Like, it's like recording fireworks. You'll watch it, maybe once? You'll post it on Instagram for someone to see how cool your fireworks were?
Yeah.
And then it's just wasted gigabytes.
Oh, unless
Get the memory. Get the memory in your fucking head.
you are a professional photographer,
Yeah,
you're
but
not
if you're
going
a
to
professional
capture
photographer, you're not in the
fireworks.
goddamn general admission section standing in between a bunch of sweaty people. You're
No,
up
I was just
front,
talking
you have
about.
yeah.
I was just talking about the fireworks. You're not
God.
going to be able to get fireworks on a phone.
Don't get me wrong. Take a fucking picture, sure. But if every time you light a firework or every time you're at the show, you have like 20 minutes of footage that you took, it's fucking annoying. Secondly,
Yes.
if I'm looking up and you're in front of me, again, I'm not a super tall person. I love when tall people push themselves to the front of like the
Oh,
pit
yeah.
area and then hold up a goddamn iPad.
awful.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, live in the moment. Take in the memory.
We should like. I always imagine like a Freaky Friday situation where like I become tall and a tall person becomes short, and then like I stand in front of them and are like, oh shit, I'm that guy all the time, and I'm like, yes, you are.
Yes.
Anyway,
Oh, but again, that's not even the one that bothers me the most. Is crazy as that may sound. The
is
fucking
it?
people talking, that
yes,
fucking drives me nuts.
Yes, like
When we
why did
saw-
you buy a ticket? Why are you even here if you're gonna talk?
We saw Fleet Foxes in Hollywood a few years back, and I swear to God, people wouldn't shut the fuck up. Like, there was a whole section of people behind us. No, I'm not saying you're not allowed to talk during a concert, but if it's a mellow song, first off, or if it's in the middle of a song,
Yeah.
why are you having a full-on conversation?
Yeah.
It was Oliver James, which, you know, that song is very mellow except for the choral parts, the chorus. He's, you know, Oliver James, na, na, na. But the main verses are mellow.
Yeah.
And I can hear these two dickheads behind me with their fucking drinks. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I didn't come here to listen to
What
Tweedledee and Tweedledickhead.
What are bros doing at a Fleet Fox?
And that's the thing. Sometimes people will go just to say they went. People do that shit. It's like, oh, I got concert. Hey man, let's go to the Palladium tonight. Let's just see who's playing. We'll fucking, we'll hang out, bro. We'll have a few beer. And it's like some people actually came here to hear the band that's performing.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I attribute that, and people will argue with me left and right on this, but I attribute you chit-chatting and acting like a dick at a concert as no different than texting during a movie. I understand people
Yeah.
like, no, it's so much worse. It's not, though, because texting
no.
during a movie doesn't make any sound. Like, I see the light down there, and it's annoying, but if I have to hear you and I can't hear the music that I paid $50 to go listen to,
it's music.
you're an asshole.
It's
yeah.
sound.
Yes.
Like you're. Anyway.
But
Yeah.
no, but that's kind of what we're talking about. We're talking about, it's manners. It's just having good fucking manners.
Right.
It's being
polite.
a halfway decent human being, not being a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I know calling someone a piece of shit for talking during a concert may be a little extreme, but I don't fucking care.
Well, for some reason, we've gotten like. Oh, we always say this. Like we've gotten to a place.
Here's
like,
that fucking piano.
this new generation. But really, I feel like audiences in general are not like. Well, it depends on where you go. Like if you go see like the orchestra, the
Yeah.
symphony or whatever, like there's obviously everyone's gonna wear a tie, and I mean most people. Some people wear.
I don't know. I
jeans.
haven't seen a symphony in Seattle, so who fucking knows here?
Yeah,
man.
that's true. But,
This is my dress Eddie Bauer pullover windbreaker.
there are some things that like just get on my nerves, and a few things that come to mind are like you were saying when people are talking, but there's also like during mellow songs,
Yeah.
but also during mellow songs, like during a quiet moment, they'll feel the need to fill that space with
Something.
woo, yeah. Like during like when the song gets quiet,
Yeah.
they feel like they need to fill that space because they feel uncomfortable or awkward in some way, and it's like
Yeah.
No.
No, it's okay.
Fuck you.
Let me decompress from the song.
Right.
Yeah.
Be in the moment. Feel that emotional energy that the artist is putting out.
But that also may be the same thing.
Don't feel the need to fill it with screaming and yelling. Like it's
and maybe that's
awful.
why people do what they do with their phones, though. If you think about it, because we live in such a right now society where like people don't want to sit through a 5-second YouTube commercial, right? Like that's where we've gotten.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you had to watch commercials. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. Like it was just on. So people have gotten to a point now where they don't even want to watch commercials. People pay for YouTube to skip commercials, which is kind of funny if you think about it. And they're like, holy shit, there's 2 seconds of silence between songs. I don't want this. I want to hear stuff. And people can't, like their attention spans are shit. So maybe that's why. That being said, I'm not making a fucking excuse for it. I'm saying, for the love of God, like just allow yourself to be doing nothing for 2 seconds. Take in the environment. When I go see a live show, it's not just to hear the music. It's to be around a bunch of other people that want to hear that music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you don't actually want to be there, then fuck off.
Go.
That was really weird. We went to that.
It's really easy. You just don't buy the ticket.
Yeah. We went to that. My wife and I got the opportunity to go to that special Shins, the James Mercer interview, an acoustic set. And
Yeah, that
most,
was really
like
cool.
99% of the people there, you could tell, like most of them were my age, which was kind of interesting. There weren't a ton of young people that have been fans of James and the Shins for years. Mm-hmm. And there were a couple of younger girls there, and I heard somebody kind of along the lines of go, I don't know, you don't know them that well, but I thought we'd bring you. And I was like, wow, you actually brought a friend that doesn't really know them, which was a very nice thing to do. But it struck me as everybody else seemed to know like every word to every song and really was there for the experience. It wasn't just about being able to say, oh, I went to go see this thing. It was like people were really interested. And it was funny because I was watching the video that they posted on Facebook, and people were like, man, what's wrong with that crowd? People bored? And it's like, no, man. The reason people aren't hooting and hollering and dancing is because people were so entranced. And being 15 feet away from James Mercer playing an acoustic guitar on songs we've been listening to for 15 years,
right?
Like, that's a fucking big deal.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the thing is,
that crowd isn't rowdy. They're not like...
Yeah, you want to start a fucking mosh pit?
Yeah. For a James Mercer
new slang! I want to fucking throw my fists! Like, no, dude. It's not that kind of show. But it's got me thinking a lot about manners. Like, people just don't fucking have them anymore. Like, they skip that part of either their parents didn't raise them with that, or they just said, you know what, fuck it, I don't need to have it. I'm me. I don't care how it affects anybody else. Which we've kind of talked about with people and their shit words and saying just nonsense and have zero inclination to like, oh, you know what, that's probably wrong. Let me fix that. But it kind of led me to a piece of my unreasonable anger.
What's that?
My fucking, I described myself this week to someone because we were talking on an email. We were emailing back and forth. Okay. And we're talking about the book It, because I'm reading the book It again now. You are as well, because the movie's coming out in a few months and we want to, entrench myself in Pennywise the Clown. Fuck that shit. So anyway, I'm really excited about it. But she said she's going to start reading it too. And then at the bottom of her email was like hashtag this, hashtag that, like kind of half joking.
Is this like a colleague?
Yeah, it's a work friend.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh God. I was like, well, I agree with most of what you just said, except for the fucking hashtags. Like, I am an old curmudgeon when it comes to hashtags. I'm like, just picture me as Clint Eastwood in Gran Torino minus the racism. Like, that's me. And I realized that some of the things I get mad about are really fucking stupid, which is basically the basis of this podcast as a whole. Like, as we get mad about dumb shit.
Sure.
But one of the things that fucking drives me crazy that really shouldn't, and I noticed both while I was at a restaurant this week. One, why do people not take their fucking hat off when you sit down at a restaurant anymore? I understand if you're at Denny's or Burger King, like, sure. But if you're at a decent place, take your fucking hat off. I know I'm old-fashioned and it shouldn't be a big deal, but it fucking actually bothers me. So much so that my wife and I were watching Master of None. And the first episode, he goes to that really fancy fucking restaurant by himself. Yeah. And he's got his hat on when he walks in. Yeah. And he sits down with that girl. And I go, God, he needs to take his fucking hat off. And it cut to next scene, his hat's gone. I'm like, fucking A right, Aziz. That's right. And it's so stupid, but it fucking drives me crazy.
So it is fundamentally, it is stupid. But there is something that angers you about it.
It's like,
well,
it's the equivalent of the second one I was going to say, which is chewing with your goddamn mouth open.
Oh, okay.
If I'm at a restaurant and I look over and I see food in your fucking mouth, I just automatically assume you're a garbage person. Like, you are a terrible human being. You probably are the reason Keeping with the Kardashians is still on TV, and you probably don't wash your balls. Like, I fucking hate you immediately. If I look over and you're chewing and I see you're wadded up, what's the word?
I don't want to
Masticated?
know this word.
Masticate?
Oh, God.
Is that the word for chewing with the
Like
saliva mixing in?
How birds feed their young with.
Yeah. My fucking 2-year-old chews with their mouth closed.
I get that.
And it's the worst. And the thing that's really bad about it is when it's somebody close enough to you, or if it's a quiet restaurant or like a cafe and you can fucking hear the food.
Yeah, the sight is one thing, but the sound.
Oh
yeah,
my God.
that's awful.
Sounds like a fucking horse stuck in mud. God damn it.
Yeah, that is not polite. I agree. That's not good manners. But where do you think the hat thing came from?
That's an old timey thing, man. That was just a simple, like, that was how I was raised.
It's like a gesture of.
Well, now I'm not saying, like, if you're wearing a fucking fedora or a chapeau, or you're wearing like a fucking top hat and you go to a top hat restaurant, sure. Who the fuck's wearing a top hat? I don't need to see your goddamn Seahawk hat. When I'm at a decent restaurant.
Also, the thing about the Pacific Northwest is people in beanies who never take them off. Like, there are people like that I've seen that I don't know what their hair looks like because they've always fucking worn beanies.
I don't know, dude. I fully understand that it's an old man-y thing about me. Like, it's not a thing that people care about anymore.
It's funny because I understand it. Like, I know what you mean. It is impolite, but I don't really understand why it's impolite.
You know it may be one of those things. It may be one of those things we need to look up and find out the exact source of why. But I imagine it came from a time where when you walked into a place, you were wearing a nice jacket and a hat, and you came and you took those things off because as you're sitting at the table, I don't fucking know, man. But I noticed something about myself that's kind of funny. Is as mad as I get about people chewing with their mouth open, that to me seems somewhat reasonable, right?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah, because that's disgusting. Like, it's fucking disgusting. I'm getting mad thinking about it. I've noticed that I get annoyed by the sound of people swallowing, even if it's like their mouth is closed. Don't do it. Don't do it. I swear to God, I don't know what it is. If you're a loud chewer or swallower, even with your mouth closed, it's totally fucking stupid. It's totally fucking stupid.
No.
But
I
felt myself.
It's hearing other people's bodily functions. Like, you're not supposed to hear that.
So I'm literally, I can see myself sitting and like it's quiet and it's either at like a desk or at like a table or like I'll be in the break room and somebody will walk in.
Or someone chewing chips or something like that.
The chips, okay, that's you can't make them quieter.
Right.
But when you take like a big gulp of a drink, it's I don't know why I get like flip the fucking table over angry.
It's like a bro, like, you can totally see it, like the jock in high school, like chugging Gatorade.
Yeah.
Like, that's what
I don't know where it came from, but I was telling my wife this week, I'm like, there was a point where I heard someone swallowing and it was like, and like a couple minutes later, and I'm sitting there like, and my fucking back is tensing up, and I'm like, God damn it, fucking finish your drink.
There's this macho masculine thing about like chugging whatever you like, even water. Like, you gotta like fill your whole mouth and then gulp it all at once. For some reason, I have no idea why. It's like okay. Yeah, no, they're all homos. That's where I'm going. No, I don't know. Like, what is that? Is it like the chugging beer American?
I don't know. I don't know if that's an American thing. No, I can't imagine beer chugging is an American thing, but maybe no, because think about like the German like the German, what do they call it, Hofbräus or Hofbrauhauses kind of things where you get like the big boot of liquor and you know beer and you chug it. So I think that's a universal thing, but I don't know about being super broy about it. But it's
there are times and places to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And at a dinner table at a restaurant is not one of them.
Well, and again, if I'm at fucking Yard House, or I'm at, I'm at fucking Dave and Buster's, and I'm complaining about this shit, it's my bad. But if I'm at like a decent restaurant, like where things aren't $8, they don't have the fucking happy hour nacho plate, like I don't want to hear your food, I don't want to see your food. And again, I am fully aware that this is ridiculous things to get pissed off about, but I realized this week that it's got this attachment to manners, and it's got this attachment to people's inability to be considerate of each other when you're in a public place, especially with food.
Well, it's thinking outside of yourself.
Yeah.
People don't do that enough, period.
Yeah.
Like, and you need to do that to be able to have
And is it
polite
just me,
manners.
or does it seem like sometimes people go out of their way to do that kind of thing to look a certain way? Like, have you ever been
Yeah.
driving and like look over and there's that girl who thinks she's hot and she's not really hot, but she thinks she's hot, or she got told she was hot by
What
a guy?
is she doing when you look over?
She's chewing gum like this.
Like snapping it? Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't know. It's
No.
like they're doing it on purpose. I don't imagine that you don't hear it.
I don't know what, like, this is going to be a weird leap. But, like, you know, like, the girl with the popsicle who's going to, like, play with the popsicle.
Make
like,
it all-
like,
Make it all
like, make it sexual. Yeah.
fellatio her.
What is the
Rocket
sexual
pop.
connotation of, like,
I don't
with your
know.
gun?
I don't
like,
know.
What is that? How is that attractive?
When I see people do it, I for some reason, I'm not even kidding. This is gonna sound totally fucking bullshit, but it makes me think you're just less intelligent. Like you're just stupid.
Yeah.
Like you don't
Like you
realize
said, what
that you're
did you
doing
say
it.
last episode where it, when people are cursing, like that's
Yeah.
not going to make you seem like you're not going to judge someone
No.
for cursing
Yeah.
and it makes them seem less intelligent. But there certainly are things that
It's
you
like
are
who
going to
taught
judge
you to
them
fucking
for.
eat? Who taught you to chew gum? Like, did you watch a dog eat? Did you watch a bear dig through
Well,
a
it's when
trash can?
people behave like children, like when they behave like they're immature children who
Yeah.
never learned to chew properly.
And again, it goes back to something that Jeff said when he was on our podcast with us.
What was that?
You can't correct anybody anymore. You can't lean over to
Oh,
somebody and
yeah,
go, "Hey,
that's
man,
true.
you know you're chewing with your fucking mouth open. I actually see the shrimp that you
Yeah.
just put in your mouth and started chewing,
yeah,
and
You
now
can't
I'm
do-
not hungry because I just watched you eat, and you're an asshole."
Yeah. No, you can't do that because it's not
It's not nice.
nice.
Just leave them alone. It doesn't bother you.
It's their-
it
their-
shouldn't bother you.
Their table is their safe space.
If I have, oh god, fuck. I'm sorry, if I have to hear you fucking digest your food, it's now my business. Like it's now crossed over. I mean, if you're allowed to get mad for somebody wearing too much cologne, where it like makes your nose burn, your fucking chewing makes my ears burn. So we're even. Like right? Like that's got to be fair.
and then there's a simple excuse me or like sorry, please and thank you.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
that
God.
that's even gone away. Like
Oh no, I can't tell you how many times in grocery stores now people just bump into you in line. And there's no excuse me. There's no, people are almost surprised if you have more items than they do that you don't let them cut. Like I'll let the person cut.
Really?
Like if I have like 10 items and I look back and the person's got one, I'm that guy like, fuck it, hey, do you want to go ahead and go ahead? I'm cool with that.
sure.
Or if I have a cart full and they have 3 or 4 items.
Right.
But I'll notice sometimes, like the other day I was at the store and I had like 12 or 13 items and a guy had like 3 or 4 and it was a woman and her kid and they were like looking at me like, like she kept kind of like bumping forward. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
The problem is it's like it's a slippery soap. Like
It's a slippery
you're not
soap?
gonna have what?
Slippery soap.
No, it's soap on a slippery slope. Like you're not gonna have someone pull up to you at the gas station and go, "Hey, my tank is a little more empty than yours. Can I go and go to your?"
Yeah, people have started fist fights over that at gas stations. it's happened.
I've noticed that. Like I was at a gas station the other day and I like look around and I go like, "There's a lot of cameras here. Why are there so many cameras at gas stations?" And then I think like, "Oh, how many like videos online have I seen of stuff happening?"
Yeah.
At gas
Did you ever see that
stations?
one where the chick got like mad at the person
Yeah,
and they like, lit their can on fire?
Right, yeah.
Fucking
Fucking insane. The thing about it, I was thinking about this. The thing about it is that everyone has to get gas.
Yeah.
So like you have this convergence of all different types of people.
Personalities,
And like
temperaments, patience
crazy
levels.
batshit people and
Yep.
just normal people trying to go through their day.
Yep.
And then like those like clash and anyway.
I've gotten yelled at the gas station more than once. And I usually just tell people Jesus loves them. And it really fucking pisses them off.
I have actively tried to I actively try to go not stop at gas stations that I know are not going to be a fun time. Like I'll go like, "Oh, please, I have enough in my tank to go to the
yeah.
next one." Yeah.
But no, and I think it's kind of like what we're talking about though is if you can't correct something that's should be correctable, you're not going to correct the small things, right? I mean we've been at movies before where somebody's talking a bunch and you try to go shh, shh, and they turn around like fuck you. And it's like Jesus.
it came back to me. It came back to me.
Okay.
So I was sitting at the Father John Misty concert, and the people were talking behind me, and I was thinking, what would I say to them, blah, blah, blah. And this always inevitably happens, this train of thought in my head where I go, do I want to say something? Because here's the thing. If I say something, I don't know if this is just me being socially awkward or something, but I feel like other people think this way too. If I say something, then it immediately becomes like this thing about, oh, now I've said something to them and now they think I'm the guy who's going to like be upset. And like the rest of the concert, all the three of us are going to be thinking, oh,
Jesus.
like that's
a lot of thought.
I know, but I'm sure other people think this way.
Oh, no,
like,
I'm sure.
It adds like a whole other thing when you have talked to the person that's going to be with you the rest
Yeah.
of the show.
Yeah.
That
You're
like,
in this elevator together now.
right.
Yeah.
It adds like this kind of
But if somebody farted in the elevator next to you, would you not say, dude, seriously?
yeah. But then you get out on the next floor. Like you can't do that at a concert with a
Like, hey,
seating.
Father John, can you stop for a minute? Excuse me. I need you to stop what you're doing. Okay, Father John, you're good.
You get what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, I completely understand. Is it worth it? Is it worth
is it worth it?
the
'Cause then,
social
whole
interaction?
Rest of the rest of the show, I'm going to be thinking, oh God, what are they thinking about what I said to them? Do they think I'm an asshole?
I guess
Like,
that's the word. That's the place that you and I differ a bit. I
that's what
try
I think it's
try
part
to
of
give
my
them more
social-
time.
I think it's my
Yeah.
part of my social like interaction.
No, and the thing is, what you're saying makes sense because what happens if you don't say like if perhaps you don't say something, perhaps, and
Which I didn't.
and 30 seconds later they stop anyway, and they're like, "Fuck, I'm glad I didn't say
which
anything."
did happen. I mean,
And
they
that's the
weren't.
point.
They wasn't through the whole thing. It was
Exactly.
just- yeah.
Now, let's say you don't say something, and they keep doing it, and then the first 3 songs are ruined because they're being a schmuck.
yeah.
So my thought process goes, okay, like if I'm in a movie and somebody in front of us is talking a bunch, during the trailers, I'm like, whatever, it's trailers. Once the movie starts, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give them a minute. And if they keep talking, I'm like, hey, shh. And if it does, I'm like, hey, do you guys mind? And I personally don't fucking care what they think about me because at that point, I shouldn't have to feel weird or bad for explaining to you common human decency and manners. Like that's not something that I should have to teach you as an adult.
See, I wish
You take and
I wish I could
maybe as
feel
you
that
get
way.
older you'll stop giving a fuck.
Maybe,
but
yeah.
the thing that I usually think about is I go, it's not just me. Because I'm usually at the movies with my wife or with you or
Yeah.
both of you.
Yeah.
And I go, well, it's bothering them too.
Yeah.
So it's not just me. If they want to get mad at me, they can. But really, what leg do they have to stand on? The only reason I would care is if I said it in like a rude way. Like, hey, can you two shut the fuck up? Like, then I'm a dick. But if I'm like, hey guys, do you mind being quiet? You guys keep it down a little bit. The movie's going.
Right.
And it's the same thing with texting.
right.
If I see somebody texting in a movie close enough by where it's like, and the thing is, it's very bright. It's fit in a dark theater, and it's like a bright light, and then a bright light, and then a bright light. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, you're fucking distracting me. I shouldn't have to look over to my left to see what that is.
inconsiderate,
It's
definitely.
inconsiderate.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that guy in fucking Austin?
No.
So there's this guy who took a girl out. They met online, I think, and they went on a date, and he took her to go see Guardians of the Galaxy
Okay.
at the Alamo Draft House.
Great.
Which anybody knows anything about movies, Alamo Draft House is considered one of the premium theaters. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
and they don't bullshit. They don't tolerate texting. They don't tolerate you talking during the movie. They'll kick you the shit out, which
Right.
I appreciate.
right.
So we took her there. It was like opening week. It was like May 6th. So it was like still a brand new movie. So yeah, I figure it's a full house. And it was their first date. Now I've listened to a few different shows talk about this, and yeah, it's probably not the best idea for a first date
Yeah.
to go see a sequel movie in a full movie theater because you're not really talking or anything.
Yeah.
But apparently she started texting on her phone during the movie.
Ooh.
And then he was like, hey, can you like not text while we're in the movie? And then she
Who
got
are
like,
you texting anyway? On a first date? Like,
it's obviously not going well.
is your best friend like
It's-
going like, this guy is not getting some tonight? Like,
Well,
something
that's
like
the thing
that?
is,
Like,
the thing is, and as the guy on your first date, you're probably putting in your head, like, what the
Yeah.
fuck is she doing? Like,
Yeah,
is she
exactly.
not having fun?
Right.
And you can't be like, hey, are you not having fun? He asked me if I'm not having fun.
yeah.
So-
that's shitty.
So he basically says something and she goes, whatever. And then like a couple minutes later does it again. And so he's like, hey, can you not fucking text during the movie? And for me, I understand where he's coming from a little bit because if I'm there with someone and they're doing it, it's going to make me look like a schmuck.
Right, right.
But apparently she leaves and then leaves the movie theater. The problem is she had driven. So he was left at the movie theater.
What?
So
No.
the way I found out about this was that he sued her. He
Holy
brought up a
shit.
lawsuit for $17.37, which is the price of the ticket for the movie. Because his course
That
of
is
action, yeah.
The pettiest shit.
Of course.
Oh my god.
But it's Austin, so I'm
There's-
like,
have you
all
seen
right.
that subreddit, Petty Revenge?
Oh, it's fucking
it's
hilarious.
exactly what this
Yeah.
is. Yeah. Oh my god.
So she got mad because she said that he had called her sister trying to get the money back, which is pretty fucking crazy too. I mean, suing someone over $17, do you paid $17 to not deal with that person again, like let it go.
Yeah.
And she eventually ended up giving him the money, the $17, and I think Alamo Drafthouse also offered if she wasn't going to pay him, they would give him the money back or some shit like that.
Oh, that's great.
But I'm like, that's where we're at now. Instead of just being a decent human being, not texting during the movie, and not being the kind of person that can actually confront. I guess he confronted a little bit, but you're not capable of going, hey, can you stop doing that?
Yeah.
That it led to someone actually taking the time to file a fucking lawsuit.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
Oh, that's too good.
I get it. There are certain manner things that I think are inherently important, right?
Yeah.
Washing your hands after you go to the bathroom. Everybody should do that.
Yeah.
Does everybody do it? No.
No.
When I'm at the fucking movies, for example, and I see somebody piss and then walk out, I hate that person. I just do. I know it shouldn't bother me, but
Or
it just
like-
it's that
when
fucking
you-
shit exists.
Or when you're in a stall and you're taking a dump and then someone else is taking a dump next to you and then they walk out and you don't hear the sink and you just hear the door and you're like,
dude.
what?
Or even worse, if you don't hear a flush.
Oh God, yeah.
No, there are some border. I mean, there are some fundamental rules about the men's room. I mean,
Yeah.
the one from. So let me see if you get this one. You know the urinal etiquette. There's urinal etiquette. Now I know you're not a big urinal guy. You're a stall guy.
This is kind of a personal, touchy subject.
But there's urinal etiquette. Okay. If you walk into a
actively
bathroom,
avoid them.
I know and that's fine. I mean, when I remember when I first met you, we went to a movie or something, and we both went to the bathroom, and there was like a full line of free urinals, and you went into the thing. I was like, oh man, he's gonna take a shit, and then you're out in like 2 seconds, like, oh, this guy just doesn't use urinals. All right. If you walk into a men's room, and there are 5 urinals, right?
Yeah.
And urinals 1, 3, and 5 are empty, but 2 and 4 are
I
taken.
know where you're going with
You
this.
go in the goddamn stall. You
Yep.
do not walk in to the between the two guys to piss. There's a buffer zone.
Yeah.
That's etiquette.
Yeah.
There's if you walk into a bathroom and there's someone taking a shit, for me, if I'm in like the one closed stall, I try to give like a cough to let someone know that I'm in there.
Or
So they
like
don't come
flush
pulling the door.
Like flush the toilet or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Don't walk into the bathroom and see that the door is locked to the stall and then try to peek through the crack to see if someone's in there. Don't be that fucking guy. Oh, it's happened.
God.
It's fucking happened.
Oh my.
It's fucking happened.
Oh, that is awful.
Don't be the guy in a single fucking stall bathroom and talk on your cell phone while people are in the bathroom waiting for you to get out.
Or watch a YouTube video or something.
Jesus, dude. I remember I was at work one time and I could hear someone talking to his girlfriend on the phone. I'm like, you're actively taking a shit in a work bathroom and
And she does not know. There's no way that she knows
Right.
that he's taking a shit. Like, if she knew that, she would be like, what the fuck, Gerald? Hang up and call me
Gerald.
fucking back.
Gerald. Why Gerald?
I don't know. Gerald's the guy that takes a shit and talks to his girlfriend.
He is fuck Gerald.
Fuck Gerald.
Fuck that guy. But no, there's certain fundamental elements of and I don't know how it works for women and women's rooms. If you please, if you are listening to the podcast and there are certain
I'm sure it's similar.
women etiquettes,
I mean, they're
please
not exempt.
email us because
They're
I'd
not-
love to hear about them.
They're not exempt from being gross and being impolite.
No, but
Like, you
I'm
can't just
not
say
super
because they're-
familiar. So
No, yeah.
if there's certain rules like that
Right,
about the
we
women's room,
can't-
I want to know.
Right. We can't presume to know any of that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that there are some similar things happening.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the other one. In your urinal, you look straight. You don't talk. Don't talk. Why are we talking? You don't talk to me at the urinal. Like, what are you doing?
I've been in at work. I've gone in and like been in a stall and like heard like 2 guys like, "Hey, how you doing, man? Oh, I'm good. How are those sales reports?" Like, what the fuck? Your
Yeah.
penises are out. Shut
Your
the
penis
fuck up.
is
Shut up. And wash your goddamn hands.
and use a pee bib.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Yeah. And the thing is you can't. It's not like you can get a certificate. I would love it. The government to hand out a certificate to if this is the thing. This is something that I've dreamed of.
What's that?
Where you can you can like
Where's
James
this going?
like James Bond. You can get a license
Yeah.
that if you see someone doing something like that, texting in a movie theater, merging without using their blinker,
Yeah.
not washing their hands in the bathroom.
Yeah.
That you just get to punch him in the back of the head. Just punch him in the back of the head.
They'll just like slap the back of their head. Just like,
Exactly. When they go, what the fuck, man? You pull out your certificate. Like, bitch, this is legal.
Yeah, they need some discipline. They need to understand that they're not behaving.
We're not animals.
Yeah.
Chew with your mouth closed.
Be civilized.
Wipe your mouth with a napkin.
Be civilized. That's
Cut your
the
food into
moral.
manageable bites.
That's the moral of this episode: is be civilized. Be a
Exactly.
civilized, polite, mannered human being.
Well, that's going to do it for episode 9. Did we say episode 9 at the beginning?
9.
9 times. How many times has Bueller been absent? 9 times.
Be sure to follow us on iTunes. Give us a review on iTunes. You can also give us a review on Facebook.
Yes.
They let you review the podcast there. Rate us and give us a review. Let us know how you feel about it.
If we're annoying you by bringing this up, it's because it's important to us. So give us a like.
It
Give
is.
us
We
a
want to
review.
know if you're enjoying it. Yeah.
Yeah, we
for sure.
like the feedback. And if you have any ideas, topics, thoughts, concerns, questions, just ideas for us, go ahead and give us an email. Shoot it over to unreasonablyangrypodcast@gmail.com.
And if you're not already subscribed on your favorite podcast app, you can subscribe on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. I don't know the difference anymore. I don't use iPhones.
I use
Is
an
it
iPhone.
Apple Podcasts?
Yeah, there's an actual podcast app, and it should be built into everybody's phone, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
That and and Google Play and Pocket Casts and a few others. We're also on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're gonna try to get some behind the scenes footage kind of stuff coming up soon.
Yep, there should
on
be,
that.
actually, by the time this podcast posts, we should have some new pictures up as well.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. So cool.
So until next time, my name is Eric.
And I'm Gary.
Stay angry, fuckers.